Bhagavad Gita is a classic conversation between Lord Shri Krishna and his devotee and a dear friend Arjuna. This conversation took place at Kurukshetra around 5000 years ago, where the great armies of Pandavas and Kauravas had assembled to face each other in a fratricidal war. It is also said that the war was between divine and demonic forces, where divine was represented by the side of Pandavas, headed by Yudhishthira Maharaj, and demonic side was represented by Kauravas, headed by Duryodhan. Metaphorically, the battle of Kurukshetra continues even today, between the divine and demonic, but the battleground is our own heart, where we all must have experienced the constant tug-of-war between the divine and demonic voice within us. The wisdom of Bhagavad Gita strengthens the divine within us and helps us to win over our internal struggle. Thus, the message of Bhagavad Gita becomes critically important for the well-being of all human beings. It is very important to note that it is not a sectarian or a religious conversation. Rather, the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita is universal and is meant for everyone. Notably, at that time in the history, there was only one religion, and that was Varnashram Dharma, a scientific division of the society based on one's psychological and biological activities, and not according to one's birth, or not according to one's faith in any particular god and so forth. In essence, it is the best self-help book, and you will certainly experience a change of heart. Let me narrate one story to help you understand this. And it's a story about an old farmer who lived on a farm in the mountain with his young grandson. Very interestingly, this grandfather would get up early morning every day, and the first thing after getting ready he would do is read Bhagavad Gita. His grandson loved his grandfather or grandpa a lot, and he wanted to be just like him, and he tried to imitate him in every way he could. One day the grandson asked, "Grandpa, I tried to read Bhagavad Gita, but I don't understand it. If I do understand anything, then I forget it as soon as I close the book. What good does reading the Bhagavad Gita do?" At that time, grandfather was putting coal in the stove. He stopped and replied, "Take this coal basket down to the river and bring me back a basket of water." The boy did as he was told, but all the water leaked out before he got back to the house. The grandfather laughed and said, "You'll have to move a little faster next time," and sent him back to the river with the basket to try again. This time the boy ran faster, but again the basket was empty before he returned home. Finally, he told his grandfather that it was impossible to carry water in a basket. Rather, he should bring it in the bucket. However, the grandfather insisted and requested the grandson do it once more. But again the same thing happened. Grandson said, "See, Grandpa, this is useless." The old man said, "You think it's useless, but look at the basket." The boy looked at it, and for the first time he realized the basket was different. It had been transformed from a dirty coal basket to a clean basket. Finally, the old man said, "Son, that's what happens when you read the Bhagavad Gita. You might not understand or remember everything, but when you read it, you will be changed inside and out. It is a matter of experience." Obviously, the question arises, if Bhagavad Gita is so vital, so important to all of us, then why many of us are not able to take advantage of such a rare gift? And the fact about Bhagavad Gita is in fact an open secret. Everyone can see and read it, but the wisdom is password protected. So what is a password? Krishna tells us about that password in Bhagavad Gita himself, and he says, "Sa evayam maya teyatya yoga prokta puratanaha bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam yetaduttamam." This is Bhagavad Gita chapter 4, verse number 3. Translation: that very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you, because you are my devotee as well as my friend. and can therefore understand the transcendental mystery of the science. But what will I get by understanding Bhagavad Gita? Does it have any practical application for me? Oh yes, of course. Bhagavad Gita, you can call it like a navigation system. It's like a Google map, for an example. Where you go and you type in the destination and it finds the shortest route. In case you get stuck in a traffic, then it reroutes you to an alternative path. Similarly, when we are faced with untoward calamities, then it helps us to deal and rise above it. Unfortunately, many don't know about their destination, and thus all their endeavors become futile at the time of death. However, the Vedas help us understand or tells us what our destination is. And Veda says, Asatoma Sadgamya, from the temporary to eternal life is the journey. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, from darkness to light is our journey. Mrityum va Amritam Gamaya, from death to deathlessness, or from mortality to immortality is our journey. In essence, the teachings of Bhagavad Gita plays a very critical role in safely navigating us through the journey of our life. Somebody may ask, what are the main themes or the subject matters of Bhagavad Gita? Well, you can call it as a Gita matrix. Bhagavad Gita has 5 important subject matter, beginning with who is Ishwar, what is Jiva, what is this material creation, this whole cosmic creation around us, what is this material nature, Kala, the time, the controller and destroyer of everyone and everything, and finally the law of karma. As you sow, so shall you reap. These 5 subjects can answer all possible questions or doubt about life and creation around us, such as why do bad things happen to good people? How does the law of nature function? How to live a happy life? Does God exist? And if yes, who is He? What happens after death? Like that, we all have many questions in our life, and if we get proper logical answers for it, it can give an altogether new meaning to our life. Thank you for listening. That's it for today. And in the next episode, we'll study the chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita, titled as Observing the Armies. Last but not the least, everyone loves gift. In case if you don't have a Bhagavad Gita as it is, then gift yourself a copy of it. Or else you can also gift a copy of Bhagavad Gita to your dear ones. Stay tuned for the next episode, and now it's time for trivia. You can share your answers and also any doubts in the comments, and we'll be happy to hear from you. Thank you once again. Hare Krishna.